Good morning. This is another pastor's briefing from Red Bay Church of God Holiness. I hope that you enjoyed these short devotional thoughts and reminders of church activities. Please feel free to give me feedback at either our Facebook page or our church website. Or you can also contact me personally at pastor@redbaychurchofgodholiness.net or by calling 928-5236. Today I'd like to share with you a few brief thoughts from Hebrews chapter 12, verses 14 through 29. Verse 14, and I'm going to read this from the English Standard Version. It says, "Strive for peace with everyone and for the holiness without which no one will see the Lord." This command for peace and holiness is followed by three specific commands: that no one fails to obtain the grace of God, that no root of bitterness springs up and defiles many, and that no one is sexually immoral or unholy. The writer is telling the church as a group that they must disciple one another. They must make sure that no one in their community falls through the cracks. Our faith is not to be lived only for ourselves. Rather, we are to encourage and to support one another in following Jesus. And so if someone is struggling spiritually, come alongside them, pray for them, encourage them, even challenge them if you see them going astray, and challenge them not to give up. Similarly, we must be careful not to allow bitterness to become part of our church family. If we do so, the results will be devastating because many will be defiled as the bitterness just spreads and spreads. In all of this, we must hold high the standard of holiness. There is no room for immorality or impurity in God's people. Rather, as 1 John 3 verse 3 says, we must purify ourselves even as Christ is pure, so that we will be ready for his return. Now, the last part of Hebrews chapter 12 gives us a comparison between God instituting the covenant with the Israelites from Mount Sinai and then Jesus instituting the new covenant on Calvary through his blood shed on the cross. And he says that if the Israelites were terrified of God's holiness as God spoke to them audibly from the clouds and the fire and the smoke on the mountaintop, so we believers today should be even more so in fear of God and determined to live holy before our God. Living in peace with others and being holy before God takes effort. Yes, God is the only one who can make us holy or even give us peace with others. And yet there is an effort required of us to live the holy life. And so I would challenge you as the Hebrew writer does. Work for peace. Do your best to live holy, because this is God's will for you. Remember, this week on Thursday, we will not be having our prayer meeting service so that we can attend the West Bay Wesleyan Holiness Church Revival with Pastor Philip Gums. If you want to ride the bus, please be at our church parking lot by 7 p.m. We're looking forward to a wonderful service there with Brother Gums. On Friday, our youth group resumes at 7:30 p.m. Please register your children or young people. Please register at redbaychurchofgodholiness.net/YG-register. On Saturday, at the Wesleyan Holiness Church, there will be strengthening marriage sessions with Pastor Philip Gums and his wife. They will begin with a breakfast at 8 a.m. and then at 10 a.m. there will be split sessions, men's sessions and ladies' sessions. And then at 11, a combined session together. A complimentary lunch will be following. Please let me know if you would like to be part of the strengthening marriage sessions, or you may call the pastors ladies at Wesleyan Holiness Church. Finally, remember our special church business meeting called for September 26th. That's our Thursday evening time at 7:30 p.m. During this time, we're going to talk about our need to buy a new bus. And so we are asking that right now you will be praying for God's direction, and also that you would pray to God asking Him how much you should give for this special need. Hebrews 12 verse 14. Strive for peace with everyone and for the holiness without which no one will see the Lord. Let's live in this sinful world holy lives before our God. Let's encourage one another. Let's pray for one another. Have a wonderful week.